All right, so on the bottom of the fifth, or I guess it's actually kind of, yeah, let's look at the one on the bottom. We're going to look at the planning form, or excuse me, not the planning form, the example first. So our ultimate goal is to make this. I guess you can't see it. So if you can imagine your team, they have a supply of stuff that they keep in a locker probably. Maybe it's even just the back of somebody's car. But they have stuff that they use for the team. So in this example, they just put baseballs on there, and they have 1,000 baseballs, but not all the baseballs are the same. Some are used for practice, and then when you play the games, you probably use better baseballs. So we're going to do this for 3, 6. How many products do you need to come up with? It looks like 10 products, and you'll have 3 of each. So I'll show you how to find those products. We have a planning sheet like we've had for everything else, and then you do sort of the final copy. So I want to save the planning sheet as a Word document, so we'll do that first, and then we'll add something to the planning sheet together, and then we'll work for about 20 minutes, and then I'll show you how to make the table. We'll save them both in a folder and turn them in. So let's hit the back button, please. And let's go to the middle of that entry for the fifth. So we'll click on the planning form. And we need to save this planning form. So where it says page, go down arrow and choose save as. And let's save under folder with your name. And we're in focus, so double click on that if you have a focus folder. And then let's make a new folder. So click on the new folder icon, kind of on the top left. And we're period 3, so go 3 underscore your last name, your first initial, underscore, and we'll call this one inventory planning. Oh, I'm sorry, not inventory planning, just inventory. My fault. Because if you added planning, just leave it. But we're going to put in our inventory planning and our inventory inside this one. So let's open it. And then even though the name is W5, let's go to save. Anybody need to see that again? All right. Good job, Prosperity. Let's hit back because sometimes we get an error if we have a PDF file open and we try to open another one. And we'll go start, computer, and we're going to the folder with our name. We're in focus, and we're looking for the folder that we just created. So for me, it's this one. Let's double click on the folder the file we just saved. And I need to save it so I can open it in Word. So I'm going to go File, Save As, Microsoft Word, and then Word document. Doesn't matter. Okay, let's save that. All right, I'm going to close this, and all I have to do is, oh man, hey, sorry everybody on mine, I forgot to save it with a better name, but you could really just leave it as planning form because we have the inventory folder. But if you do want to change the name, you could click on it, wait 3 seconds, then click on it again, and it's just going to be the inventory planning. But if you want, just leave that name the same. Okay, let's double click on this to open it in Word. And this particular one's pretty straightforward. First one says, what is the name of your team's training facility? So you might have to make something up, or you could probably just use a stadium that you play in if you want. I think a lot of teams use a college if there's nothing going on there. Okay, so on this form, we need to fill out the equipment type and estimated quantity. This form kind of stinks. Equipment type. No, actually, this form will work. So on the equipment type, you can say, just choose a piece of equipment. Could be like knee pads or shorts or jerseys, sometimes even band-aids or other safety equipment, splints. We also need probably balls or whatever we're using, maybe baseball bats, so whatever you can come up with. So for now, let's just figure out some equipment and how many you need. And I think it's probably going to be a lot more than you would imagine. Like, I think if you're, who plays soccer? So how many balls do you go through in a season, do you think? Or how many, not go through, but do you just use? Like all together? And then you have the game balls, right? And doesn't the coach have any balls? You have to count all the balls. All right. So maybe 20 soccer balls. I'll put like 100. It'd probably be more than 100 baseballs because they're always hitting them and leaving them on the field and they get stolen and stuff. So fill this out. Take like do your best to get it finished in maybe 10 minutes. So 15 after we'll get together and do the second part of this. So in continuing the second part of the inventory, we open our letterhead. Then what we're going to do is get rid of this area right here because I'm afraid it's going to interfere with the letterhead. We're going to get rid of our watermark. So let's go to the page layout tab and see where it says watermark. We'll go down arrow and remove watermark. And because I don't want anybody to lose their stuff, I want you to go start. I'm sorry, not start. The office button. Save as. I'll go back to that question. And then go Word document. And we want to save in the folder we created just a minute ago. So I'm going to go to the folder with my name. And then I'm looking for the inventory folder I created just a few minutes ago. So that would be under focus. And then 3, last name, first initial inventory. And this one, either just call it inventory or call it inventory final. But be sure when you turn it in, it's in the inventory folder, and you turn in the entire folder. But you guys did pretty good job yesterday of doing that type of thing. All right, who needs a minute? Hands up, please. Oh, so to remove the watermark, you go page layout, and where the watermark is right here, you go down arrow, and we want to choose remove watermark. Some of you, if you put your watermark in, it's just a regular picture, you're going to have to click on it and then hit delete. But if you put it as a watermark, that's how you do it. If it doesn't work, because maybe you altered it a lot, I would start just a fresh form and just put your logo and type in your team info. All right, so if you read through the instructions, it says to have a table that's 8 columns and 11 rows. So to get that, you go Insert, and then where it says Table, you go down arrow, and we're going to go to the Insert Table icon. It's the first one under the table down arrow section. Okay, we have 8 columns, so where it says columns, type 8, and then where it says number of rows, put 11. And then let's hit OK. Mine's a little bit big. I'll shrink it down so you can see that I have the whole thing. So, try to get this far. I'll just kind of review a little bit if you get stuck or something. So all we did was we opened our letterhead, saved our letterhead with a different name called inventory in the inventory folder. Then we delete the watermark, so that's page layout, down arrow, remove watermark. And then we put it in the table, so that's insert, down arrow, and we chose insert table. We chose 8 columns, 11 rows. Oops, I better put that in there. Bam. Okay, so what we need to do now is merge and center the top set of cells. So highlight that set of cells, the top row, and then right click, merge cells. Sorry, I was trying to pull up the example too. Okay, and then let's type our team name on there. Anybody have a team name they want to throw out? I guess I have Bucky's Ice Cream. I'll just use that. Oh, I'm sorry. We already have the team name on the letterhead. What we need to have is an inventory document name. So say something like, and here, I'm just going to pull up the example because I'm going to tell you the wrong thing if I don't. Yeah, we'll type in estimated training equipment inventory. Okay, and then let's just make that look good. I'm going to center mine, change the font so it's a little bit bigger, but not so big that it makes the form hard to use. And then I'll change the color. Okay, and then we'll put in these labels that are from the example sheet. We have equipment, quantity. It says either, oh, I'm sorry, quantity. And then next one, it says either, it says company slash store. I'm just going to type company so it doesn't make my cell too wide. And then next is price. And then company again. and then price, and then company again, and then price. So if you can imagine what really happens over the course of having a team for like the Snohomish High School football team's probably been there since probably 100 years. So they probably have equipment that's 50 years old that they're still using, and it's going to be a different brand than the newer equipment. So let's say some of our equipment are footballs. Some brands are going to be, so you're going to have maybe, let's say, 100 footballs, and the brand on some of those footballs are going to be maybe like Converse, and the price for those, maybe they're 15 years old and they start off being $30, and now because they're pretty old, maybe their value is only $10. And then maybe they have some new footballs. Uh, Anybody have an idea on what they'd call them? All right, so before we're going to kind of add a little something to this. So click on save so if something happens, you don't get lose your stuff. Here's what I need you to do. Let's refer back to the sheet we were working on just a minute ago. And what you would put on this left side and the quantity are the stuff from this sheet. And I should have mentioned that, so I dropped the ball on that one. But in this example, we have baseball bats. So I'll just change mine to baseball bats. So let's take like 4 minutes and just type that stuff in here on under equipment and then quantity. I think you guys might end up short one space. 3, 6, 7, 8, because of the title. If you do, just go to the end over here and add tab. Okay. All right. So you think we'll be exactly right? Okay. So it'll take 3 minutes, 4 minutes. How about 4 minutes? Try to type those things in there, and then I'll show you the next step. Let's go to Frugal, so it's FROOGLE.com. It's written on the board over there. And then you already typed in your items here on the left. So then you search for your item. Like I'll search for baseball bat. Okay, and then it gives you the best price on whatever products. So just pick 3 different quality of products. Like this one, SKLZ lightning rod, $20. It's less than the more expensive one. So you need some of a cheaper brand, some of a middle brand, and some of a more expensive brand. And you don't want to put the store. So you wouldn't put Amazon.com. You're going to put the brand. Because when you take inventory, if you can imagine walking into a little storage area, you're not going to look to see if the bat has a little Amazon sticker. You're going to look to see if it says Rawlings or any other brand. So for me, I'll do the first one for me. I'm going to go for baseball bats. I'll have company SKLZ. The price is $20. And then I'm going to put Rawlings, which is like my third item. And my price is $140. And then the third one was it's a Rawlings, but it's a different version. So I'll put Rawlings DBCA, just so they know which one is which, and then I'll put the price of $155. So that's all you need to do, but you have to do it for 10 items. And then when you're finished, all you have to do is save it, and then drag the whole folder to the inbox. So that's it for this. We'll take questions.